Welcome to the Sous Chef kitchen. Today we're making German Christmas biscuits with Jurgen Krauss.
Hi, I'm so glad to be here.
What are we making today, Jurgen?
We're going to make Springerle and black and white biscuits. I brought some Springerle in, which are very specific to southern Germany. And the black and white biscuits are just great to let your imagination go wild and do some biscuit engineering.
We're celebrating Jurgen's Christmas book, the German Christmas cookbook, which is full of beautiful, beautiful recipes, some of which are iconic German festive biscuits. So yes, Where do we start with the Springerle?
We start getting our ingredients together. I always like to start with traditional mise en place, means I'm weighing out everything I'm going to need and I'm lining up the pots on my kitchen work surface in the order I need it, making sure I don't forget things. First of all, we have 4 eggs and 500 grams of powder sugar. Then we have 500 grams of flour. Then we have got the raising agent, in this case sodium bicarb. We also have 1 lemon zest and possibly a little bit of water or rum to dissolve the baking agent, but that's not necessary.
Having beaten the eggs, I'm going to bring in our first.
Yeah, the first thing in this recipe is crack your eggs in a bowl, add the icing sugar while you're whisking bit by bit until it's dissolved, and then turn your mixer on to high speed and mix for 20 minutes.
So the reason we've done this already is because I couldn't believe it. It is a full 20 minutes. Why is that?
Well, old recipes specify that you should beat for 1.5 hours. That was probably the time when you used muscle power for that. The biscuits need to dry out overnight so that during that time the egg yolk and white separate. So white rises to the top. You get this nice white and very defined picture, and the yolk drops down and keeps the bottom elastic and gives it the ability to rise up.
So here are our 4 eggs that have been beaten, and the icing sugar has been slowly dripped in. So then what happens next?
You just fold in the flour. I'll mix in rising agent as well. Just give it a little stir. I'll add all the flour at once.
And in your book, you share some lovely memories of your grandmother, I think it is, who used to make these Springerle biscuits.
Yeah, my grandma made them, but my aunt was really the one who made them most proficiently. And they were always part of a Christmas present pack.
Lovely.
Let's just add in
the whole thing?
The zest, yeah. This dough is very sticky, so after it's mixed, it needs to rest for about an hour at room temperature, covered so that it doesn't create a skin on top. So I've got one dough prepared earlier, and this is the one I made just now. So you see there's quite a difference in consistency. It just sets a bit.
So now we're coming on to the shaping, which is really such a signature part of the Springerle things. We have, I bought a rolling pin, which we sell at Sous Chef, which is really fun. And you've brought also some from your home collection.
Yes.
What's the sort of history behind different Springerle shapes?
It could be coat of arms. It could be ornamental things like on this rolling pin, ornamental things that have to do with food or with Christmas. So there's grapes, there's a squirrel, there's baubles on a branch. I'll take a bit of the dough, roll it out on a bit of flour. But it's surprising how unsticky this is.
Unsticky, and it has that, you can feel how much sugar is in it because it's got that slightly so crystally texture, which is what is so different to me in terms of making
I think
biscuits.
that's a little bit from the skin on top.
Oh, I see.
if you feel it here, it's quite
softer.
It's almost like marzipan. To avoid sticking, you can just put a tiny bit of corn flour on top, and then it should work. Let's try the rolling pin. Don't be too quick. You have to roll it out quite thickly, 1 centimeter or more, because it will get thinner when you add your ornaments.
And you push it down, obviously. I was wondering whether you sort of fill it with the dough, but you just
push it down, and we can take the bear.
Beautiful. Should we try one of the smaller ones? Yeah, let's do it. There we go. They've come out so well. They're really sharp.
Yeah, then I would
knife?
Take a sharp knife, baking tray, and the seeds.
The seeds. And it's very particularly anise seeds, so fennel seeds, not the same.
Fennel seeds are quite big, so imagine biting on a baked fennel seed.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be that great. Anise is smaller, and it's really a very particular flavour.
And so you simply just cut them out like this. Beautiful.
So these will now sit uncovered overnight.
These are some practice ones that I made yesterday. You can see not quite so expertly, and in fact the shapes I didn't manage to achieve quite so well. I think there's a clear difference between the expert and the apprentice here. They've sort of just firmed up a bit, haven't they?
Yes.
So why do we leave them overnight for so long?
You need the skin, you need the top to be completely dry. And then there's this other element of the egg separating.
Yeah.
I might just cut one apart. This is what they look inside. They're quite hard. They can get softer over time, but they are ideal for dunking.
And here's our Springerle. Shall we start with our next biscuit?
Let's start the next biscuit. The dough for black and white biscuits is essentially a shortbread, but it's very stiff dough, so that it enables to do the engineering. We have got some ready-made dough here, which was in the fridge. You can see it has a lot of resistance.
It's also incredibly dark because we're using this, I think, very exciting black cocoa powder, which is from Sous Chef. And so it really gives that high contrast, which is really exciting. So yes, that's why I say black.
So we'll first make the dough. Could I ask you to put these into the freezer?
Yes.
It's kind of a all-in-one method. Flour, sugar, some lemon zest.
So is this for the white dough? I missed this.
This is for the white dough. I start mixing the white dough, then we can use the same bowl for the black dough. So that was sugar, flour. We need the butter.
Okay, this is a 250 block, so I'll do 125 in the middle.
At home, I probably would measure everything, weigh everything. And with eggs, the sizes are so different. So if I say 1 egg, if you have mixed eggs at home, it could be an egg with 45 grams, it could be an egg with 65 grams. 1 egg is not precise, 1 tablespoon is preciser.
This looks like familiar territory in terms of getting that breadcrumb texture. Is that what we're after here?
It is just rubbing in the butter.
Yeah. Yeah, I could start doing that, couldn't I, with the
You can
ones
do
with the
that.
black.
Yes, so add the cocoa powder to the flour and just give it a stir with a
Okay.
whisk or something.
So this is this incredibly dark cocoa powder going in.
Beautiful vanilla from Little Pod,
Yes, we love little pods.
also available on Sous Chef.
That is correct, also available at Sous Chef, a favourite.
Little bit of salt as a dough conditioner.
Oh, that's interesting, not just for flavour then, also to condition.
No, one little pinch, you won't really notice. About 2 tablespoons of egg. Depending on the flour you're using, you might need more.
Direct me, should I put the sugar with the flour and the cocoa all together?
Yes.
Yep, and then I will combine that. Okay, so that's come together now.
And that's
really
come
nicely.
together. We want to knead it a little bit more.
And again, unlike pastry where you might be nervous about overworking the flour, it's okay just to bring it together, isn't it, to make it a bit firmer?
I think it needs the firmness
Yeah.
to hold these geometrical shapes.
Yes.
It should sit for about an hour in the fridge.
Yeah.
It needs to be cooled for the next steps. For the dark dough, some cocoa powder can feel really dry and take up a lot of moisture. Then you just add a little bit more of your egg.
And this is so dark.
It's wonderful.
I'm glad you like it. I really like it too.
It feels quite dry. I'll add a bit more egg.
It's just about coming together.
I'll turn this out and knead on the surface. Well, in recent times, these black and white biscuits have become favorites in terms of the fun you can have to do all this engineering. They taste nice as well.
So here we have our chilled doughs, the white
Yeah.
and the black.
When the dough comes out of the fridge or freezer, you have to soften it a little bit. I'll roll out the white first. So I used a lot of flour here, which is not great. Try to avoid flour as much as possible, otherwise it won't stick.
So to make the checkerboard, before we start, should we talk through what we will be going to do?
You make 2 dough sheets, same thickness, and then you put them one on top of each other, and then you cut them into strips.
So on top they go.
On top, I'll cut that bit of white off. Now, I'm just cutting it into half and put it on top as well.
You can just start to imagine now how it's going to come together, which is really satisfying.
Yes, we could keep with this size, or we could do another one on top. I'll use a tiny bit of egg because this is really falling apart. It warms up while you put things together, and in order to keep it exact, you need to really keep it cool. At this point, you would measure the thickness of this double layer and then cut strips in that thickness. So it's probably around 1 centimeter, so we might get 3 strips out of this.
Yes.
So I'll just cut the end off as well.
Space.
And then we just turn them around.
Magic.
And we'll turn this one around. This would need freezing. So to finish this, you can wrap it in another sheet, or you can finish it like that. You would freeze it and then cut it in thin slices, about 3 millimeters thick. This here is now just to demonstrate that we have some kind of checkerboard.
It's made a little bit, but really not too much. You can see exactly where it's going, and if it had that extra time to really freeze it hard, it would be so crisp. And so then you slice them and put them in the oven, and they go in for not very long at all.
Not very long, about 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
You have to keep an eye on them. You don't want the white to get brown.
And so we've just done the checkerboard, which these are my best attempts here, not quite so successful.
For the spiral, you just put one black and one white sheet on top of each other and roll it up.
And roll it up, that seemed very nice and easy.
You can choose the thickness you want. You can experiment by rolling it out thinner while the sheets are on top of each other.
I really loved the marble effect because as we've just found with some of the offcuts from shaping the others,
so
here we go.
We have got the offcuts. Just put it together, maybe give it one cut through, and then roll it into a sausage. Put it in the freezer.
Perfect.
And when you cut this, you get these quite sophisticated patterns.
After 10 minutes in the oven, they're out like this. You cool them, and you have this incredible selection of beautifully engineered biscuits. Thanks so much, Jurgen. That was absolutely brilliant. We've learned so much as we've made our Springerle and black and white biscuits.
It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you.